Imagine attending a wild party at P. Diddy's mansion, only to find out years later the cops raided the place and found footage of you and other A-listers doing outrageous things. That's the rumor swirling around Diddy right now, with whispers of a leaked video featuring 13 big names.
And there was a lot going on. And then there's people that thought that Puffy was involved and Suge Knight was involved.
Speaking of, I think Suge Knight's the one who said the thing I just thought of.
What thing?
About that they were there to delete stuff.
Well, if he really was filming everybody, I mean, he had a lot of people at those parties, right? You know who said? Luke from 2 Live Crew?
Yeah, he said he was to leave early.
Yeah, when Luke from 2 Live Crew is leaving early, like, you got a wild party.
And get this, Joe Rogan is supposedly the one who spilled the tea on who's allegedly on camera. So, what dirt does Rogan have? And could these tapes be the Hollywood scandal of the decade? Allegations against Diddy. Remember those whispers about crazy things happening at Diddy's parties? Well, those whispers just got a whole lot louder in December 2023 when a lawsuit against Sean Combs, that's Diddy's real name, dropped some serious bombshells. Buckle up because this gets messy. The lawsuit paints a picture of a dark underbelly to Diddy's extravagant lifestyle. It accuses him of using his power and influence to coerce people into participating in these wild parties, these so-called freak-offs. Imagine a bunch of pressure to do things that make you uncomfortable, all under the roof of a music mogul. Yikes. On top of the lawsuit, there's a federal investigation brewing. Law enforcement is looking into allegations of sex trafficking happening at these parties. Yikes again, times 10. It's important to remember that these are just allegations at this point, but the seriousness of the accusations is undeniable. Now, there's this rumor floating around that Joe Rogan spilled the tea on his podcast, naming celebrities supposedly caught on tape at Diddy's shindigs. Hold on a sec, though. There's no real evidence of that happening. It seems like someone might have gotten a little carried away with the gossip. So what do we know for sure? There's a lawsuit with some disturbing claims and a federal investigation looking into those claims. Diddy, of course, denies everything. But this whole situation casts a long shadow over the music industry and the kind of power some celebrities might wield. We'll have to wait and see how it all unfolds, but one thing's for sure, this story is far from over. Now let's get into these supposed A-listers that Rogan just revealed. And the first one is no shocker. Justin Dior Combs.
Justin is the boy that could do it, of anybody.
This lawsuit against Diddy splashes some mud on his son, Justin, too. The guy suing Diddy, Rodney Jones Jr., claims Justin knew what was allegedly going down and might have even been involved in some things. Now, Justin's lawyer probably slammed his fist on the table when he heard this. Justin himself went on record, saying it's all a bunch of hooey and completely absurd. You can picture Joe Rogan on his podcast, leaning back in his chair saying something like, "Yeah, wouldn't you deny it too if someone accused you of something that crazy? It makes perfect sense." Nobody wants their name dragged through the dirt, especially for something this serious. Here's the thing, though. Right now, it's all a he said, she said situation. There's no concrete evidence to prove either side of the story. So Joe Rogan might have hinted on this matter, but we gotta pump the brakes here and wait for all the facts to come out before we jump to conclusions. The whole thing will likely play out in court, and then we'll see what the judge has to say. In the meantime, Justin's gotta deal with having his name attached to this whole mess. It's definitely not ideal, and you can bet he's hoping his side of the story comes out eventually. Cassie.
Yes. The controversy.
Yeah.
How can we get a tape of this?
Oh, I'm gonna send it to you. I will email it to you.
Email me the whole thing.
Yes,
I love it. I love that you're constantly crushing the glass ceiling, or crushing the black ceiling.
If you know the context of this video, if you know what the 3 a.m. video is, and what Diddy was promising to email to Andre, you will know that Cassie literally escaped a nightmare when she left him. And it's interesting because this entire section is about the videos and sex tapes that Diddy sent. And the 3 a.m. video was basically an extension of all that. But that's a...
Remember Cassie, the R&B singer with the voice like silk? Well, in December 2023, her name got tangled up in this whole Diddy mess. She filed a lawsuit against him, and the details were pretty rough. According to Cassie's claims, things got dark within Diddy's inner circle. She alleges that she was pressured and manipulated into doing things that made her uncomfortable. Imagine being stuck in a situation where you feel like you can't say no, especially when it comes from someone as powerful as Diddy. The lawsuit goes on to say that Diddy allegedly even pressured her into intimate encounters. Things got heated, and Cassie decided to take a stand. She filed a lawsuit against Diddy, but here's the twist. The whole thing settled under wraps. We don't know exactly what went down behind closed doors, what kind of deal they made. All we know is that the case got shut down without any details being made public. This whole situation with Cassie is shrouded in mystery. Did she get the justice she deserved by settling? Did Diddy face any consequences? These are questions we might never get answers to, but they definitely add another layer to this whole story. Cuba Gooding Jr.
Didn't end there, and more sexual harassment cases started to surface. In a separate incident, Kelsey Harbert alleged that she was sexually attacked while sitting in a bar in New York in June 2019 with Gooding and his girlfriend. Harbert said Gooding put his hand on her thigh and grabbed her breast.
Cuba Gooding Jr.'s career has been overshadowed in recent years by a string of allegations, the latest of which involves a disturbing incident aboard a yacht chartered by music mogul Sean Diddy Combs. In January 2023, music producer Rodney Lil Rod Jones filed a lawsuit against Combs, initially accusing him of sexual harassment and assault. The lawsuit took a surprising turn a few months later when Jones amended his complaint to include Cuba Gooding Jr. as a defendant. The amended complaint alleges that while on the yacht trip in the U.S. Virgin Islands, Gooding was left alone with Jones in a private studio. Jones claims Gooding engaged in inappropriate behavior, including touching, groping, and fondling him against his will. The lawsuit goes into specific detail about the alleged unwanted physical contact and, according to reports, includes photographs that Jones considers evidence of the incident. Cuba Gooding Jr. has vehemently denied any wrongdoing. However, this incident adds to a pattern of troubling allegations against the actor. In 2018, he was accused of forcibly touching a woman in a New York bar and later pleaded guilty to a reduced misdemeanor charge. In 2020, another woman accused him of rape, a lawsuit that was ultimately settled out of court. The seriousness of these allegations, coupled with the recent developments in the Jones lawsuit, have cast a long shadow over Cuba Gooding Jr.'s career and public image. Meek Mill. All right, buckle up, because things get a little messy here with Meek Mill. Well, Meek Mill's name has been swirling around the whole thing.
Okay, so...
But that's not a diss. Meek likes being brought up in that song. I don't know why you lowering his thing. You think you're doing him a favor. He's very, very happy being mentioned, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah?
Here's the deal. The lawsuit mentions a Philadelphia rapper who dated Nicki Minaj being involved in some inappropriate stuff on Diddy's yacht. Now, Meek Mill fits that description perfectly, and let's be honest, the internet went wild with speculation. The thing is, the lawsuit itself doesn't explicitly say Meek Mill did anything wrong. There are these redacted sections that people are convinced point to him, but there's no way to know for sure. Social media went into overdrive, though, with everyone trying to connect the dots. So what's the real story? Meek Mill hasn't said a peep about it, and there's no concrete evidence to tie him to anything specific. Right now, it's a whole lot of he said, she said, and internet rumors. We'll have to wait and see if anything more concrete comes out, but for now, Meek Mill's just caught in the web of this whole Diddy situation. Usher. Usher's situation regarding Diddy's yacht and the surrounding allegations is a bit of a head-scratcher. Here's why. See, unlike Meek Mill, who at least had a redacted mention in the lawsuit, there's no direct accusation against Usher. However, things get interesting for a few reasons. Firstly, there's been a lot of online chatter lately about Usher potentially being involved in something shady, fueled in part by his recent success and some of his performances. It's like people are putting the pieces together and trying to connect some dots, but there's no concrete evidence. Secondly, the lawsuit itself mentions Diddy frequently hosting these extravagant yacht parties where, well, let's just say things allegedly got out of control. And guess who was known to be tight with Diddy back in the day? Yep, Usher. They even lived together for a while when Usher was young. So, people are naturally wondering if Usher might have been on one of these infamous yacht trips. Now, here's the kicker. Usher hasn't said a word about any of this. He's been completely silent on the whole situation. This silence, of course, just adds fuel to the fire of speculation online. So what can we say for sure? Not much. There's no proof Usher was involved in anything inappropriate, but the connection to Diddy and the timing of the lawsuit have people buzzing. Ellen DeGeneres.
So tell me about your birthday party. Am I invited?
Yes. Yes, you're definitely invited. I invite you to all my parties. You just haven't seemed to show up.
No, well, is it on the East Coast?
Yes.
Well, that's why. Why don't you have one here on the West Coast? Because I work all the time.
Okay, well, maybe I have one at your house.
Where's that?
So, Ellen DeGeneres also got swept up in the whirlwind surrounding Diddy's yacht and the allegations that came out of it. Buckle up, because this gets a little strange. Remember Ellen's whole "be kind" thing? Yeah, well, things got awkward when she was caught on camera by paparazzi. They were basically hounding her with questions about the allegations against Diddy. Here's the thing. Ellen has this history with Diddy. They've known each other for years, and she's even joked around on her show about attending his infamous parties. But when the paparazzi ambushed her, her response was, well, chilling to some. Instead of directly addressing the allegations, Ellen seemed flustered and avoided giving any real answers. It was like she was trying to downplay the whole thing. But that's not all. Remember how Diddy himself appeared on her show a while back? During the interview, Ellen playfully asked if she was ever invited to his parties. Diddy's response, however, was a bit more cryptic than anyone expected. He kind of dodged the question and made some suggestive comments that left people wondering what exactly goes on at those parties. The whole situation with Ellen just adds another layer of mystery to the entire Diddy yacht situation. Her strange response to the paparazzi and Diddy's cryptic comments on her show fueled a lot of online speculation. It's important to remember that these are just that, speculations. There's no evidence Ellen knew anything about the alleged wrongdoings, but for sure the whole thing left a bad taste in some people's mouths and tarnished Ellen's squeaky clean image a bit. Justin Bieber.
Everything starting to act different, huh? You ain't been calling me and hanging out the way we used to hang out.
Well, I mean, you try to get in contact with me, through all my, partners and whatnot. Mm-hmm. But you never really got my number, so.
Correct. Okay.
My number?
Yeah.
I'm gonna tell you my number.
Yeah.
Now here's one celebrity that's going to completely shock you. Our favorite heartthrob, Justin Bieber, is involved in this mess too. Here's the deal with Justin Bieber and the whole Diddy yacht mess. It's a situation that's more confusing than anything else, and it all stems from a weird video that resurfaced recently. Remember how Justin Bieber blew up as a teenager? Yeah, well, this video is from back in those days, when he was like 15 or 16. In the video, he's hanging out with Diddy, and things get kind of unsettling. Diddy starts talking about giving Justin a car, a fancy Lamborghini, as soon as he turns 16. He also makes some cryptic comments about them going full crazy together. On the surface, it might seem harmless bragging from a successful music mogul to a young star he's mentoring. But here's the thing. It doesn't sit right with a lot of people. The age difference is a huge factor, and Diddy's language about custody and going crazy is just weird. This video has people wondering about the nature of their relationship back then. Was it just a mentor-mentee thing? Or was there something more going on? The whole situation is further fueled by the fact that Justin Bieber has stayed completely silent on the issue. He hasn't addressed the video or the speculation surrounding it. This silence, of course, just makes things seem even more suspicious in the eyes of some. This video definitely puts a dark cloud over Diddy's past association with Justin Bieber, and it adds another layer of unease to the whole yacht situation. Hopefully more information will come out eventually, but for now, it's just a confusing mess of speculation and a very unsettling video. Stevie J. Stevie J has been one of Diddy's most vocal supporters throughout the entire legal drama surrounding the federal raids on his homes and the sex trafficking allegations. Remember Stevie J, reality TV star and longtime music industry figure? Yeah, he and Diddy go way back. So, when things went south for Diddy, Stevie J wasn't about to stay silent.
Curtis, what's good, man? You and your feelings about Daphne? Is she with gang them? Or is it that you sucking little rod? However it go, I want you to fade. All that. Since it's entertainment, let me beat got you on TV or something. Don't duck that.
Made headlines with a series of interviews where he staunchly defended Diddy's innocence. In a particularly emotional interview with Fox 5 News, Stevie J described being present during the raid on one of Diddy's homes. He spoke about the intensity of the situation, with armed agents entering the house and detaining him briefly. Throughout the interview, Stevie J emphasized his belief in Diddy's character and his confidence that Diddy would be cleared of any wrongdoing. It's important to note that Stevie J's support is based on his personal experience and friendship with Diddy. He wasn't speaking from a legal standpoint or offering any inside knowledge about the investigation. However, his support for Diddy definitely added another layer to the whole situation. Some people saw it as a sign of Diddy's loyalty, while others questioned Stevie J's judgment considering his own past legal troubles. Daphne Joy. So here's the scoop. Daphne's batting away rumors that she's in the business of, well, let's say, adult entertainment. She's like, nuh-uh, not me. But it doesn't stop there. She's pointing fingers at 50 Cent, saying he wasn't exactly Mr. Sunshine during their time together. Allegations are flying about physical abuse and him not exactly stepping up as a dad to their kiddo. Now, it's not just a he said, she said scenario. Daphne's getting ready to play some legal hardball. She's aiming her sights not just at 50 Cent, but also at Rodney Jones, who threw her name into the ring during a lawsuit against Diddy. Yeah, it's a tangled web. Speaking of Diddy, there's a bigger story brewing here. There's this whole lawsuit swirling around him with some heavy accusations about sex trafficking. And guess what? 50 Cent's not just twiddling his thumbs through all of this. Nope, he's got plans. He's cooking up a documentary, probably with all the juicy details about the Diddy saga. Prince Harry.
Prince Harry's name has been mentioned in court documents related to allegations Sean Diddy Combs sexually abused multiple people. A $30 million lawsuit brought by record producer Rodney Jones claims Diddy's affiliation with high-profile people such as Prince Harry gave his actions legitimacy. The American hip-hop mogul's home.
You know things are bad when the British royalty gets involved. Ah, Prince Harry. Remember that recent lawsuit about music producer Diddy and these alleged parties? Well, Prince Harry's name popped up in the court documents. Now hold on. Before you jump to conclusions, it's important to understand the situation. Here's the deal. The lawsuit mentions Prince Harry, but it doesn't actually accuse him of anything. It seems his name came up because, well, he's a prince. The lawsuit alleges that Diddy's parties attracted people due to their exclusivity and the big names who attended, including celebrities and even international figures. Prince Harry, being a royal, definitely fits that category. Think about it this way. Imagine getting invited to a party where famous actors, musicians, and maybe even some important world leaders might be there. Sounds pretty exciting, right? That's kind of the idea the lawsuit is putting out there, that Diddy's parties were these super exclusive events, and his association with big names like Prince Harry supposedly added to the allure. In this case, Prince Harry has never been accused of any wrongdoing, and he wasn't even a defendant in the lawsuit. It seems his name just got caught up in things because of his status. Lucian Gra
has a rich baby daddy named Lucian and Universal.
So this man right here is Sir Lucian Charles Gra. He's been the CEO of Universal Music Group since 2010, so you know he done seen some shit. So I had to go to the damn documents. I had to see if this man was actually named, and he is. As you can see, it says Lucian.
Next up, we have Lucian Gra. Well, Grange, the CEO of Universal Music Group, is named as a co-defendant, meaning he's in hot water too. The lawsuit doesn't hold back, claiming Grange is 100% responsible for Diddy's actions. That's a pretty big accusation. Here's why Grange's name is getting dragged through the mud. The lawsuit alleges that he, the head honcho of a massive music company, knew or should have known about some very sketchy things going down at Diddy's parties. We're talking allegedly illegal activities, pretty bad stuff. The lawsuit even claims Grange might have been there himself, but it gets worse. The lawsuit paints a picture of Grange using his power in the music industry as a threat. Apparently, the idea is that if someone spoke up about the alleged wrongdoings, Grange could basically shut them out of the entire music scene. Nasty, right? Basically, the lawsuit is saying Grange might have been using this threat to keep things quiet, even if he knew something bad was happening. Grange hasn't been convicted of anything, and he definitely denies all the allegations. But one thing's for sure, his name being linked to this whole mess is a huge blow to his reputation. Christina Corum.
Corum's now deleted LinkedIn account has said that she joined Bad Boy Entertainment back in 2013 and became Combs' day-to-day manager, later becoming director for the Officer of the Chairman. And the chairman, of course, is Diddy. She was promoted to Diddy's chief of staff back in 2020, and she's very important to him. Combs is
the lawsuit's flying around, and it's comparing Christina to Ghislaine Maxwell, who's got her own tangled history with Jeffrey Epstein. Yeah, that Epstein. If you don't know, Christina is chief of staff for Diddy and is involved in almost all of his crimes. Allegations are swirling that Christina was like the gatekeeper of Diddy's wild ride, making sure his party supplies were always close at hand. Now, Christina's not taking this lying down. She's one of nearly 30 people caught up in this legal storm, accused of everything from ordering up escorts to walking around with a stash of drugs like she's in some kind of twisted version of the Wolf of Wall Street. So what's the verdict on Diddy? Well, that's the million-dollar question. The feds are still digging, the lawsuits are piling up, and Diddy's vehemently denied everything. It's a tangled mess of accusations, from sexual assault and trafficking to potentially underage girls and forced prostitution. Here's the kicker. We just don't know the whole story yet. The raids on his homes were linked to human trafficking, but is he the target or just a piece of the puzzle? Those leaked video clips mentioned in the lawsuits. Could they be the smoking gun or just another dead end? This feels like the first chapter of a crazy story, and new details seem to leak every week. There's a lot we don't know, and with more people coming forward, there's a good chance more revelations are on the horizon. So, what do you think? Is Diddy a victim of a smear campaign, or is there more to the story? Are the feds on the right track?